Hey, good morning. This is Doug Rogers with Remax Coastal Properties here in beautiful Destin, Florida. Just coming back from a great 4th of July weekend. It was packed. Everyone seemed to be having a good time, and so that's certainly good news for Destin condo owners. So trust me, your unit, if it was available, it was booked this past week. So that's great news, and hopefully it continues for a while. So what I want to do is just give you some advice today. If you're thinking about purchasing a Destin area condo, this is good for 30A, Fort Walton, obviously Pensacola as well, but just some advice to keep in mind, some questions to ask yourself. Now, first of all, do I understand the purpose of this purchase? So in other words, I have people that'll buy a resort condo just for themselves and their loved ones. And so, I'll mention stuff about, this has some great income potential. And they look at me like I'm stupid. And they say, Doug, I would never let a stranger sleep in my bed. So this is just going to be our refuge, our sanctuary. And that's totally cool, But on the other hand, most people, especially in those middle tier brackets, they'll do kind of a hybrid model. They'll put it on vacation service for the peak season and then enjoy it themselves at points across the year to kind of get the best of both worlds there. So it's totally up to you, but just understand what your purpose is for the condo. And make sure the cash flow works in your mind at least. Understand roughly how much you're going to put down unless you're paying cash for the whole thing. Understand what your down payment's going to be. Roughly what your expenses are quarterly. Are there any special assessments? We walk you through all this, guys. We don't just throw it out there to you, but just something to keep in mind. And, we can get you with different property management companies and they can forecast out. Now, it's not set in stone, but they can forecast out and they can say if everything stays roughly the same with the economy and demand, your condos should generate X amount of dollars next year. And so what you do is you try to get 2 or 3 of those and maybe average them out and then use that number as kind of a reference point. Okay, this much money's coming in, this much is going out. So over the next few years, while hopefully it appreciates, this is how much money we'll have at the end of the day. And along those lines, keep an emergency repair fund. Guys, stuff will break at if you've ever had rental property, it breaks at the worst possible time. So let's say it's July 8th and you've got a family and they're paying $4,000 a week. And all of a sudden the AC just goes to Jesus. It's just time and it goes away. You've maintained it, but it's, 13, 14 years old and it just goes out. Well, you have to replace the inside and outside system typically at the same time. That might be $9,000. And trust me, if that family is paying $4,000 a week, they are not going to be cool with some advice from an owner saying, well, just turn the ceiling fans up a little bit and open the windows. They're not going to want that. They're going to want AC. So you're going to have to write a check for $9,000 or whatever that number is. And then that depletes your emergency fund, so you want to build that back up because, again, sometimes bad news travels in groups of 2 or 3. So that water heater will start getting a little jealous of the new AC, and it'll show off a little bit. So, but that's just all part of the equation there. So have you an emergency fund there, and then just keep it open and available. Sometimes owners will make mistakes with this, so they'll buy a property and the plan will be a hybrid type thing. We'll rent it out during peak season and we'll use it as our family in the fall or winter or whatever. And then they'll block the month of July off for their uncle. And well, that's a peak month. They don't, every month is not July, trust me, and so if you are going to use it as a hybrid, keep those popular months and sit down with your property management professional. He or she will tell you historically these are the busy months, and some of them are a little odd. You wouldn't think October would be that busy, but I've seen some Octobers here. It's pretty crazy. So you want to, if you're going to do a hybrid model, you want as many of those good times opened up, but at the same time, make sure you use it some yourself. And so it's not like another investment like a stock or something like that. You can actually use this and go get you some vitamin C. Get it? Vitamin C, like the ocean. Get you some vitamin C and it'll help recharge you a little bit and help you remember, oh my gosh, that's why we're doing this. This thing's appreciating over time. By the time I'm ready to go to the next life or whatever, my kids will have a paid for condo that produces revenue and they'll be able to come here and make some memories with their families. So get yourself a good calendar finally. Once you own one of these Destin area condos, you're going to have cousins that you haven't seen since, Y2K, all of a sudden going to reach out. Mine did last week. Hadn't talked to him in 7 years. Oh, Craig, hopefully you're watching this. I'm glad I was able to connect with you again. But they will. When you live on the beach, they'll make it a point to come see you. And you don't have to be there. You just have to leave them a key or something. So just have a good calendar and write down the weeks where people are coming. So you don't tell cousin Ethel she can come, and then your wife says, cousin Craig can come that same week. So get you a good calendar and mark off those days. And if you have any questions or you're ready to start the process, give me a call. My name again is Doug Rogers, Remax Coastal Properties, 318-613-1994. And you go make it a great day.